Hello, and welcome to the Creative Mindset Podcast. This show is about life, creativity, and business. Every episode is about one of these three. My name is Isolde Trachtenberg, and I want to help you live in your creative mindset where anything is possible and you can achieve great things. Hello, and welcome to the show. This is Isolde Trachtenberg, and I am thrilled that you are here. Wow, well, we're right after tax day. And hopefully you got your taxes in on time or you've applied for your extension and everything is copacetic. But if you're anything like me, every year you dread your taxes. And it's because of the organization it takes to make things work. At least it is for me. See, I'm not a tax accountant pro and I'm not offering you tax advice. I just believe that the better prepared I am for sitting down to do taxes, the easier it will be. I don't know if you're like me and have special challenges in this arena. Some people who own their creative businesses have no trouble with taxes. I'm not one of them. Every year I dread it. Every year I promise to do better about keeping on top of my receipts. And every year I end up pulling out my hair as I wrestle with the mountains of paper. But not this year. This year I did something different. This year I dedicated to doing a Sunday morning ritual of receipt sorting. See, Sunday morning, a cup of coffee, and sorting paper receipts and email receipts. That's what I do now. I started it back in January, and it is a beautiful thing because, yes, I know instead of the huge amounts of pain sometime in March of next year, I'm going through a little bit of pain every Sunday morning, but it's a lot more manageable this way, and that cup of coffee doesn't hurt, right? So here we go. Let me tell you what I do. Again, I'm not a tax accountant or a tax preparation professional. I just want you to hear from one person who has challenges in this arena what I do to make things easier on myself so that things aren't so completely chaotic right before tax day every year. Some people will tell you to do QuickBooks or Quicken. If you can figure that out, go and do. QuickBooks remains kind of a mystery to me. I've tried to figure out how to use it, and I've been unsuccessful. So this is what I've done. And I don't think I'm math challenged or arithmetic challenged. I can do that, but I'm accounting challenged, and QuickBooks for Mac it makes my eyes swim and my head do a complete 360. It's just, I find it very hard to figure out how to do it. And I've had people try to teach me how to set it up, and there's something about my brain probably. I don't know, but I have a lot of trouble with it, so I don't. This is what I'm doing to help myself do taxes every year, totally legally, of course, but also so that I'm not making myself bananas trying to get it done. So here we go. We all get our receipts via email, right? We get a lot of our receipts to the point where you never even see a paper copy. So you need to sort those as well. And here's how I do mine. Create a mailbox in your mail app or a label if you use Gmail. I use Gmail, so that's what I'm going to talk about. So it'll be the 2019 receipts that you get from email. And then every Sunday morning, sort your emails for the past week. And you don't want to fall behind or you'll tear your hair out trying to catch up. So every Sunday morning, you want to grab a cup of coffee and then sit down at your computer and do a search that looks something like this in your Gmail. Let's say I'm doing this past week. I would put the following in my Gmail search bar, and it would say this: after, 2019/4/7, before, 2019/4/15. And there's a space between that date, the 4/7, and then the word before, because then it will give you only emails that you received in that week up through Sunday, right? So, or Sunday, in this case, Sunday the 14th, but really it's tomorrow the 15th, which is what I want to do. And you can tell I'm recording this on Sunday right after I've done my receipts, so that's why the words are coming up that way. I'm going to put that little statement that you put in your search bar in the show notes so that you can see what it looks like. And then once I have all of those, I go through each email and I label every pertinent one with the 2019 receipts label. And that way I can just go to that label and I will have at the end of the year all of the receipts that I've gotten for taxes purposes via email for 2019. Now, it's a better and likely easier idea to mark each pertinent receipt as it comes in, but I seldom remember to do that. If I do, that's great, but if I don't, this sort of weekly reckoning keeps me on track. And again, if you have a tax accountant or a tax professional and you can go to them, that's fabulous. But if you don't, and if you want to do it yourself, this is a way to keep things sorted. And once you've gotten your email receipts sorted, then you'll also want to keep your paper receipts sorted. I put everything in manila folders that I've marked up with the various categories I'll see in TurboTax. That's what I use. I'm not affiliated with TurboTax. I just use the software because it walks me through everything, and I think that's wonderful because I would never want to try and do all of that by myself. If you have a different software package that works for you, great. See what categories it asks of you and then create manila folders with those categories. So, the software walks you through the categories you'll need to fill in. Those very same categories are the ones I break my manila folders into. I have some of the following categories. 1, advertising. That's for websites, ads, branding, business cards, etc. Anything that you use to advertise your creative business, you're going to want to put in a manila folder there. Then uniforms or clothes you buy that you will only wear at gigs or other work-related events. Then, for example, office supplies you buy to run your business. Then office equipment, photocopies if you make them as part of your business, postage if you're sending things out as part of your business. And then there's the wonderful miscellaneous expenses, which is all of the things that don't fit into any other category, but that are pertinent to your business that you could not run your business without, you put in there. Then professional and legal services, and there are others. Depending on what you do, you can deduct different things. For example, a singer or a musician might deduct sheet music purchases or new instruments or a music stand. A photographer can deduct new camera equipment, and a painter can deduct paint and canvases and other art supplies. Again, you're going to want to check with a qualified tax pro for this, but I wanted to give you an idea of how you might start to get a handle on receipts to make this time of year easier. Also, I keep track of my utilities because I have a home office, and my internet and phone service because it turns out the percentage you use that for business can be deducted. Again, I'm not a tax professional, so you're going to want to find one and use their services if this confuses you, but it will be really helpful if you have all your receipts sorted before you go to them. Otherwise, it's going to take longer and they're going to charge you a lot more if they have to sort everything for you. Also, for example, I hire contractors for creative and performance jobs sometimes, and I keep track of what I pay them because that's deductible too if it's part of your business. And one more time, yes, I am not a tax professional. You're going to want to find a qualified tax professional. I'm just telling you what I do to help you sort things so that things aren't as confusing and chaotic when you're going to do your taxes. And last, of course, you're going to want to pay your estimated taxes, pay your quarterlies, and keep track of what you paid. You can call the IRS, and I'll try and put that phone number in the show notes as well, and get those amounts. But if you're doing your taxes close to the deadline, the wait times can be scary long, so you want to have track of that, of what you paid and what date you paid it on, both for your federal and state estimated taxes, if you pay both, for your business when you do it. I like to put in, 4 different slots, so April 15th, June 15th, September 15th, and January 15th. When they're due, I have a little slot that tells me what I paid in my estimated taxes. And that way, again, when it's time to enter all of that information into TurboTax, it's already there. Then I set up a spreadsheet, and I put in every job I did for my business into it. and I put in all the things I sold because I sell books and things like that. And of course, put in a little function for your sales tax for your state. And then you want to create a function in the spreadsheet for each one of those line items so that you can multiply the number of times you're there at a gig, if it's a repeat gig, for example, by how much you earn, or add everything if it's different amounts. Then when you do the gigs or sell the stuff, you're going to add everything in. You're going to do the same thing for all your receipts too. Create functions under the headings of all your manila folders, and then you'll enter the data so that everything is in one place. Whether you decide to go to a tax accounting professional to do your taxes, or you decide to use TurboTax and do it yourself, having everything sorted will make things a lot easier when you go to do your taxes, and it will also save you a lot of headaches and might save you money, because if you don't have all your receipts sorted, you might not take all of the deductions that you're legally allowed to take. So if you have them sorted, not only will it save you headaches and stress, but it might also save you a little bit of dough. If you have any questions about how I sort my receipts, I would love to answer them for you, particularly for creative people. We often have issues with doing some of this sort of stuff, and the easier we can make it on ourselves, the better. Plus, again, if you're going to go to a tax pro, they're going to charge you more if you bring all your receipts in a big old trash bag, right? You want to make sure that you have everything put together in a way that will make it easier either on you to enter everything into your tax app, whether it's TurboTax or another one, or your accountant, if that's what you use, because again, they'll charge you more. And if you're lucky enough to have an accountant that won't charge you more, go and do. But otherwise, keep everything sorted. Take all of the deductions you're legally allowed to take for your creative business so that you can take all of that money and put it into making your business thrive. And that's what it's all about, right? You want to do everything legally, but you also want to be sure that you are taking everything that you are legally allowed to take and being able to keep putting money back into your business so that you and your business can succeed. I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please tell someone who needs to hear this, especially if they're struggling with doing their taxes, but also subscribe to the show. I'm talking about how to make the creative's life easier and better, and it always focuses on life, creativity, or business. And every episode is like that. It's about those three things, because to me, those pave the way to making your dreams come true. Until next time, this is Isolde Trachtenberg sending you all of my love. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. Please subscribe to the podcast if you're new, and please tell your friends about the community we're building here. Today's episode was produced by Isolde Trachtenberg and is copyright Isolde Trachtenberg 2019. Today's music was from Kevin MacLeod, Laser Groove, and Ave Marimba, brought to you by Creative Commons License 3.0. As always, please remember this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Past performance does not guarantee future results, although we can always hope. Until next time, I send you all of my love.